Mangalam Bhagwan Mangalam Kuntundari Vijendra Bhusmangalam Namasunam Swanam Bhutyaka Piti Swadhay Bhavaya
Om Namo Loye Saratrikavarti Arantanam. Om Namo Loye Saratrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loye Saratrikavarti Aryanam. Om Namo Loye Saratrikavarti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loye Saratrikavarti Savanam. Esho Panchalamukaro Savvapavapanasano Manglalancha Savasing Padamamhaya Manglam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Sheva Omkaraya Namo Nama Nama Samaysaraya Swami Vachakasate Chitsavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantara Agnanatinandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksuram Militam Mena Tasmai Sri Guru Nama Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranad Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarupane Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavar Dvani Devyano Jina Kunda Dvani Apya Aho Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Kolane Anupamagati Pamele Sarve Sidane Vande Kamasuta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Pradata Are Mo Eka Suddha Sada Aruti Darshanamaya Kare Kayanate Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Natiyare Jamanitra Tema Jagnana Natikara Kanati Vedaka Are Jani Jakara Modaya Nirajara Bandate Mokshane Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Shuddhatmane Namaha Jai Jinendra. So today is December 2nd and 2015. We'll be continuing our discussion on Bhävarth section of stanza 6. Let me bring the slides up. So we are discussing this stanza 6 for a while. This is kind of a Bhävarth is kind of a essence, in a general essence, what this stanza says about it. So that's why we are going kind of a little bit faster, because we already know all this point. We already have summarized this point, not once, not twice, several times. So we pretty well know about it. So basically it is summarizing what we know so far about it. So we start from this one where we were left last time. Dravya Drashti and Paryay Drashti, substantial vision and modal vision, or substantial faith and modal faith. Remember, as we said, faith attribute has only two possibilities. Either it could be directed to outside objects, or it is directed to the eternal true nature of the self. So only two ways it can go. So here, when we say substantial vision, means my vision, my faith, my attention is directed to the eternal true nature of the soul. That is our main theme. That is the one that I have to achieve it. And that's what I'm trying to do. Paryay drashti means transient, my transiency. Transiency means now I'm thinking about one thing, and then I'm thinking second thing, then I'm thinking third thing, where I'm going to go today, what I'm going to do tomorrow, what I'll do. So all kind of different thought processes occurring. They are transient in nature. They fly from one thought to second to third to fourth to fifth, and those are called paryay drashti. And because there is instability of mode by itself, paryayini anityata, the mode itself is unstable in nature, and so the thoughts occurring in that mode they are also unstable in nature. So what are those differences? Quickly go through this. Paryay drashti is a substantial vision, is a pure, and a modal vision is impure. We'll just see why it's a pure and impure. Pure in the sense it is, there is nothing mixed up. Eternal soul substance is eternal soul substance, and that's all. While mode, I'm thinking about so many other things. I'm thinking about the phone, I'm thinking about this material, I'm thinking about this ruler, and all kind of things. So my thought process depends on outside objects, and that's why paryay drashti or modal vision is impure. Dravya drashti, the substantial vision, is indivisible. You are just looking at the gold as a gold, as a gold, as a gold, no matter what form that gold is in. Gold is in the form of a wire, gold is in the form of ornaments, gold is in the form of mixed with the dirt, but gold is indivisible in nature. Same with the eternal soul substance is indivisible in nature, while modes, they are divisions. Mode will know with the divisions only. Let's say I have a knowledge. This knowledge are 5 types. They are perception knowledge, there is scriptural knowledge, there is clairvoyance knowledge, there is telepathy knowledge, there is omniscience knowledge. So these are divisions occur. But substantial vision is indivisible. There is no divisions at all. Then substantial vision is called absolute point of view, means yes.
I don't remember where, but I heard somewhere that if you have upyog and you have divisions in upyog, that's called vikalp. Is that true?
Yeah. Now, vision word over here, we have to use it in the form of faith. See,
no, I understand that. This is an unrelated question. I'm sorry. It's an unrelated question. If you have divisions in divisions in upyog, is that what we call vikalp? Is that the definition of vikalp?
No. Once again, repeat your question.
Okay. Upyog ma bed hoy.
Yeah.
Is that what vikalp is?
Yes. Now, what you are saying is reflective thoughts, reflective thought process, vikalp. Vikalp is a reflective thought process. And so what is upyog? Upyog is a reflective thoughts, basically. And what happens in that one? Soul is a substance. There is a knowledge is an attribute, and the mode occurring in one samay is called upyog. Pravachansar, stanza 40, it says, Chaitanya ne jivna chaitanya anuvidhai parinamanne upyog kahe. Jiv means a soul substance. Chaitanya means knowledge attribute for our discussion purpose right now. And parinaman means the mode coming from that knowledge attribute, that is called knowledge mode, and that is called upyog. Upyog is there. So that upyog, it could be pure form or impure form. impure form in the sense when it's mixed with the, for example, I have knowledge mode right now. I'm looking at the computer screen. So my knowledge mode is occupied looking at computer screen. So what happens? Computer screen becomes the object. And that's why that upyog is called impure upyog. But same upyog, same reflective thought, when I direct to my eternal soul substance, then it's called pure form of upyog, you know. So upyog means reflective thoughts could be two types, impure or pure. Pure when it's directed to the soul substance, and impure means it's directed to the outside material objects.
Okay, can you use the concept of upyog to define sankalp?
To define what?
Sankalp. Can you use the concept of upyog to define sankalp?
Sankalp?
Yes.
Yeah, but because sankalp is it's an impure form of upyog.
Okay.
Upyog has two forms. Pure, which is just engrossment within, and that's called enlightenment. Or
so vikalp is also an impure upyog.
Vikalp can be two types. Yeah, vikalp can be two types. Or you could call vikalp also. Vikalp definition is given two different ways actually. Vikalp definition. See, we are on the vikalp. Let's talk about it, because vikalp, the reflective thoughts, they are defined by two different ways. Number one, knowledge mode. Remember, I have so many infinite attributes within me, out of which I'm taking two attributes right now, three attributes: knowledge attribute, faith attribute, and conduct attribute. We are taking three. If this knowledge attribute produces knowledge mode and it is mixed with the impure conduct mode, charitrani ashuddha paryay. So if this knowledge mode is along the impurity of the conduct attribute and impurity of the faith attribute, then it is called vikalp. Knowledge mode mixed up with the impurity of the conduct mode and impurity of the faith mode, because my faith is directed, faith could be two types only, right? So faith is directed outside. My conduct attribute is also impure, and my knowledge attribute at that time is called vikalp, means rag sahit nu gnani paryay, and a vikalp. The knowledge mode along with the inclination of attachment is called vikalp, or it is called reflective thoughts. So I have a thought process going on right now. Because I have thought process going on, that means it's a vikalp, because it is mixed with the rag and dvesh. So this is one general definition of vikalp. Now, second definition of vikalp when we talk is knowledge mode by itself. Knowledge mode by itself has a characteristics of knowing with the divisions. For example, let's say that the soul has an experiencing phase. The monk is in the 7th spiritual development state, and he's in the experiencing phase. Or omniscient Lord, who is in the experiencing phase. Siddha Bhagwan, who is in experiencing phase. At that time, knowledge is a pure form of knowledge, but knowledge is always knowing with divisions. This is the characteristics of knowledge, that to know by division. For example, Gnan and Darshan, knowledge and perception. Perception is generalized perception. Let's say, how many people, there's a one big crowd of thousands of people are present. That's a generalized form. But then knowledge will say how many men are there, how many women are there, how many older people are there, how many younger people are there, how many people with the disease, how many white, how many black, all those divisions that the knowledge does. It's a knowledge is its own capacity. That's the inherent capacity, and that is called also vikalp. So we have to understand where is this word used. So when the experiencing phase is going on, at that time, knowledge also knows the eternal soul substance as well as all the infinite attribute present within the soul substance. So knowing each and every attribute is also the characteristics of knowledge. That's called vikalp. So in experiencing phase, also knowledge has a vikalp, but that is division form of vikalp. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that, you know, in the literature, different same word will be used, but one has to understand what concept, from what point it is being used. What's a point the scripture wants to drive at it. In general, 95% of the time, vikalp means knowledge mode along with rag, knowledge mode along with the inclination of attachment. That's all we have to remember that way, you know. When we go in the experiencing phase, then knowledge by itself knows by divisions and indivisibility. Both ways it can know. Siddha Bhagwan knows the whole universe, past, present, and future. So that knowledge mode makes those division in the Bhagwan's knowledge, and that is called savikalp also. Savikalp means vikalp. Okay?
So, Kirit uncle, even when you're in Atma Anubhav,
Yes.
there is still this kind of vikalp.
Yeah. Which vikalp?
No, the second kind. The second kind. There's still the second kind.
Second kind of vikalp is always, because that's an inherent characteristics of the knowledge mode. Knowledge mode's inherent characteristics is to know by divisions and by indivisibility, both. Veda Vedthi Janvu. That's a characteristics of knowledge mode.
So that's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be.
That's where it is. That's what's normal. But when I have the inclination of attachment present within me, and I know the things, then it is called vikalp, which is knowledge with the rag, knowledge with the inclination of attachment. And that will go away only in the experiencing phase and or after 13 Gunsthanak, you know, at 13 Gunsthanak.
Kirit, what you've said is very clear. What I recall from that same, I don't know where I heard it, but what I also recall was when you have an object of knowledge or some sort of non-pariyaya in the non-gun, and you consider it your own, and that's called sankalp. Is that correct?
Sankalp is the knowledge mode with inclination of attachment. So
part belongs to swa. That's sankalp.
Okay. That two words now you are bringing in the picture: sankalp and vikalp. Vikalp means to know with the inclination of attachment. Sankalp means to know with the inclination of attachment and then to say, that's mine, it belongs to me. When you bring the moh inside, when you get nature inside, that's called sankalp. Because there is my ownership is there. My ownership.
So then sankalp is vikalp plus ownership.
Vikalp with ownership is Sankalp. Yes, you are right.
Or Vikalp with Mo.
Vikalp is a one with the, yeah, Vikalp with Mo. You are right.
Okay.
Did it make sense to everybody else?
Very clear. Very clear. Yeah.
No, but everybody else, because you know, yeah.
તમે પેલી ગુજરાતીમાં ડેફિનેશન એ આપી એ પાછું બોલો ની વિકલ્પની ચૈતન્ય પરિણમને
રાગ સહિત નું જ્ઞાન એ વિકલ્પ. રાગ સહિતના જ્ઞાન સાથે મારાપણું કરવું એ સંકલ્પ.
Kirit uncle.
Yes.
So I have a question. આપણે સમ્યક દર્શનની પર્યાય આવે, નિર્મલ પર્યાય આવે, તો એને હવે વિકલ્પ ન કહેવાય. ઈ એક સમય માટે નિર્વિકલ્પ નથી થયા કે ઈ ખોટું?
હા, એ નિર્વિકલ્પ થઈ. You are right.
તો હમણાં આપણે અંકિત જે પૂછ્યું એમાં વિકલ્પ દશા તો કાયમ રહેશે એવી વાત થઈ, પણ જો ચોથા ગુણસ્થાને પહોંચે તો ઈ સમય માટે તો વિકલ્પ દશા નથી રહેતી ને, નિર્વિકલ્પતા.
You see, what you are saying is right in the sense when knowledge is along with the experiencing of the self, જ્ઞાનનું આત્માની અનુભૂતિ જે વખતે જે જ્ઞાન છે એને પણ સવિકલ્પ જ્ઞાન કહેવાય છે, કેમ કે જ્ઞાનનો સ્વભાવ જ ભેદાભેદ છે. જ્ઞાન સ્વભાવથી જ ભેદાભેદ. જો દર્શન છે એ જનરલી જાણે છે, દર્શન ભેદ નથી કરતું, જ્ઞાન ભેદ કરે છે. કે જ્યારે સપોઝ કે I'm in a deep sleep and somebody said my name and I just said, is somebody calling me? I had that kind of a thinking occurs, and that's called darshan. But then, are they really talking about me or somebody else? Then the Gnan comes in the picture already. So before the knowledge, already there is a perception, and perception is indivisible. The knowledge is with divisions all the time. Knowledge knows with divisions all the time. So even in the experiencing phase, the knowledge is called two things. It's called Nirvikalp Gnan, or it's also called Savikalp Gnan. Nirvikalp Gnan because it is in the experiencing phase. Siddha Bhagwan has a Nirvikalp Gnan because there is a total engrossment within. But that knowledge during experiencing phase also knows everything with the divisions, and that's why it's called Savikalp also. So it's called Nirvikalp knowledge or it's called Savikalp knowledge. Both words can be used. And we have to understand from what perspective we use those things, you know. Did it make sense? If not, let's talk there, but don't worry about that part.
Very clear. Very clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Because see, there is a lack of word. See, for example, word bhav. Word bhav will be used for soul substance, for attributes, and for modes, and for impure modes, pure mode. So wait a second, what are you talking from? Well, it is my responsibility as a reader to have my base clear, to understand that Acharya Bhagwan is talking from what angle. Kunkun Swami, when he wrote Samaysar, he did not write down all this detailed explanation, everything. He wrote down 2 lines and he walked out. Now it's our responsibility to understand exactly what he meant by those 2 lines. Krupaludev wrote down 2 lines. Je Swarup Samjayana Pamya Dukhanan Samjayuta Padanamu Si Sadguru Bhagwan. One can keep on talking and analyzing and dissecting that sole 2 lines for hours and hours and hours and hours. For example, all the 6 pad are present in that sentence. There Nishchayana is present, Vyavarna is present, Dev Shastra Guru is present. So Acharya Bhagwan and enlightened soul, they don't write in an extremely longer fashion. But Gurudev type of some of the enlightened persons, that they have the kind of a compassion for us, and they expand it for our knowledge to explain all those things to us. So those are the things that we have to keep in mind, you know. So they are limited because, for example, omniscient Lord has a total experiencing of the self. He's engrossed in his total experiencing of the self. Now, when the words come out, only minuscule part of the total experience comes out in the words. Out of those words, minuscule part is understood by the first disciple, Gandhar Bhagwan. Out of that knowledge, when they wrote it, even the minuscule part came out, and out of which we have to understand all these things. So what we have, the print language we have in front of us is an absolutely minuscule part of the total picture. So first I have to understand this part, and then try to walk on it, try to analyze it, try to imbibe on it, keep reflecting upon it, and make a determination of my true nature of the self, and then go for experiencing. And then at that time only I know what Bhagwan wanted to convey. So it's kind of very slippery slope. So if I misunderstand something here and there, then I end up totally making different viewpoint of the absolute facts, you know. So it's very slippery slope. And I'm glad, Ankit, you asked that question about this vikalp and everything, because different places it's been used in different contexts, and then we get confused that what is happening, you know. So it's our responsibility to keep on dissecting, keep on asking. That's what the process of knowledge. There were 5 steps are given. First, vachna means to read, simple reading. Pushna means I read, now question, so I ask question, pushna. Then I understand the question, I understand the things properly. So now, just by understanding, now I keep on reciting within me. Paravartna. Vachna, Pushna, Paravartna. Paravartna means I imbibe on it, and then Anupreksha means now whatever I understood, I keep on repeating again and again till it becomes second nature for me. And last one is dharma prabhavana, means whatever I now know it, I have to distribute my knowledge to the other people who are having a thirst of knowing. Vachna, Pushna, Paravartna, Anupreksha, and Dharma Prabhavana. These are the 5 ways one understands a given subject. And so, you know, and these are only the thing one sees in a Jain philosophy given at a great microscopic level to understand all these facts. Because there is a very easy to get digressed from a real point of view, and we are the total different path, and then we just lost the opportunity of knowing the real fact. Okay, so now let's come back to the subject, unless there is a question. Okay, if there's no question, let's continue. So Dravya Drashti means absolute point of view, modal vision is conventional point of view. A substantial vision is a real fact. It's an absolute fact. And modal vision is not real. Now, this part is very important. Not real in the sense it is present. From modal perspective, it's a real thing. But when we compare this modal perspective along with the substantial perspective, then that modal perspective becomes non-real. So this is substantial perspective is real thing, this is a false thing. Then there's a primary, there's a secondary. Ultimate reality, figurative expression. Because, for example, somebody says to me right now, somebody meets me and says, hello, who are you? And I just say, I'm Kirit. That's it. So it serves the purpose. But am I really Kirit? No, I am the eternal soul substance, existing for time infinite. And while my modes are going on, during that one of the mode, I got a human being as a model. That mode occurs as a human being. And when I was born, I was given a name Kirit, and that's what I am. If I kept talking that long sentence to somebody, they are going to throw me to the mental hospital that this guy's screws are loose. So for continuing my conventional business, I just gave my name and that's it. So it's called figurative expression. But ultimate reality is eternal soul substance, which is forever present. Then it's called all-knower substance, means Nayak. Different names are given for eternal soul substance. And modal vision as an impurity in the knowledge mode due to object getting recognized. This is the phone, and I know the phone. I knew the phone. I knew iPhone. So iPhone is an object, and I end up knowing. That means I end up knowing because of this thing. That's why it's called impurities present in my knowledge mode. So, and those are the things that we have discussed a lot before. And again, I think next picture or picture after, slide after is showing the same thing again. Now, this is the very innovative subject, innovative thing Acharya Bhagavan throws at us. That all-knowing virtue means Nayak Bhav, means soul substance has a capacity to know. Soul substance has a knowledge attribute. Soul substance has a knowledge attribute, and that's why it is a capacity to know forever and ever and ever and ever. So soul substance is also called Nayak Bhav. See, this word will come several times. Nayak Bhav. Nayak means all-knower. All-knower virtue of my soul substance. So why did you give that name, all-knower virtue? Means Nayak Bhav. Why did you give the name Nayak Bhav? Just because its capacity to know objects? Nayak Bhav word is given just because it has a capacity to know objects. That's why it's called Nayak Bhav. Now, if I just say yes, that means my knowing capacity depends on outside material objects. So it says, no, it's not true. Why? What is a process? So that's all. So what's a process through which the object is known in the knowledge mode? How is the object getting known in the knowledge mode? And now there are familiar slides coming out that we have the alien objects, and we just said my money, house, and all those things are the alien object. My body is an alien object. My material karma are alien objects. And my own influence of attachment and aversion, means rag and dvesh, are also known as alien object that we knew from before very well, out of which we know that, out of which I know that my influence of attachment and aversion are the closest to me, so close to me that that's a thing that's a central theme of the stanza 6. That when we say par-padarth, when we say alien objects, all these three guys are not to be considered. They are already away from me. This is me occurring within me, but it's not supposed to be part of me, and that's why it's an alien object. Now, how this alien objects getting known to me? How do I know them? And again, familiar of slide coming, quickly we'll go through it. Soul substance, then knowledge attribute, and then knowledge mode. And knowledge mode has a capacity to occur by itself. Knowledge mode occurring from the soul substance, from knowledge attribute, and it keeps on changing. Ocean is there, and the waves are coming and coming and coming forever. Same way, in the modes are coming forever in the soul substance, and at this time, this mode right now decided to be in the form of a peacock. Once it decided, at that time, outside, there is a peacock present as an object of knowledge. And as we knew before from our previous discussions, that between these two guys, there is entire separation is present. So this is part of me, and this is part of alien objects. This is rag over here, influence of attachment, and this influence of attachment's image present over here. This is influence of attachment present over here. So this is the way I know it. This is my knowledge. This is my knowing capacity. This is the way the knowledge occurs. And so we know this part very well. So let's go next. So process of knowledge occurring in a given mode. Basically what we just talked, you just saw the slide. Same thing will probably is there. So mode by itself transform in a particular form by its own independent. Mode by itself, independently transformed in a particular form. Now, this particular form of transformation is called quote unquote shape, and that is called gnanaka. Means the shape created by this knowledge mode. There is a quiet pond is there, moonless night is there, and millions of stars are reflected upon in that water. That reflection is the nature of the water itself, and that is called gnanakar. Means shape created by this knowledge mode independently. Shape of the knowledge mode, right? Okay, then this is prefixed in the mode and it occurs independently at its own given time. Excuse me. Since time infinite in the past and for time infinite in the future, all these modes are prefixed. They come in their own particular time and they keep on coming and coming and coming and coming independently.
Kiritanka?
Yes.
Can I ask a,
Go ahead.
so because it's time independent
Yeah.
and it's time infinite,
Yes.
and each mode is independent of each other,
Yes.
you're saying the knowledge is independent from one mode to another mode.
Yes.
So the illumination of the soul through the mirror illumination is independent.
Yes.
And this is where I've lost you, is because I still haven't made the connection that if our soul is knowing everything and it should know it time infinite anyway, then learning, having our soul, having the knowledge attribute learn something from the outside world is a outside activity. It's not part of the soul.
It's a part.
So
actually, from absolute point of view, it's a misnomer that I learned because of our outside world's information.
So that's the wrong point of view to really have. The soul point of view, it knows because it knows it anyway for time infinite, correct?
And it's supposed to know. Remember, let's say that there are 30 kids are there in a class, and teacher teaches absolutely without any prejudice to any child. She is teaching everything. How come one child is A plus and other one fails? Because teacher did not do anything wrong. Teacher taught exactly same way, but in one person was not supposed to, I mean, in his mode at that time was not coming to grab everything, because his mode was coming weak, and other kids' mode was supposed to be coming strong, and so he imbibed a lot more than the other kid. So it's an independence. Word independence is more important over here, that I'm not dependent on anything. Sure, relationships are there. That, you know, I mean, the teacher is teaching, and that's why I learn. That relationship is there, but I learned because of me only, ultimately. So we have to balance both the things. Yeah.
Let me ask you, so the knowledge mode is an alien object. The attribute is an alien object.
No, knowledge mode is not an alien object. Knowledge mode is within me, right? It's my own.
So if it's within me, so the information coming to the knowledge mode, the absolute point of view is coming from the outside world, right? And then the
look at this picture first.
Let me back up.
If I take these things out, right now, what is it? Soul substance, knowledge attribute, knowledge mode. These are all integral part of a system, closed system.
Okay.
So this knowledge mode at this time has decided to be in this form, period. That's it. And this was predetermined that it is supposed to occur at this point, this way only. And at that time, there is a object present as an instrumental cause.
Okay, so that's what it is. So it's not an alien object; it's an instrumental cause.
Yeah, but the alien object though, it's not myself, right? See,
right.
My sphere of action is this guy's only, right? I mean, my sphere of action is these things only. Within this sphere, I keep on working, right?
Okay.
Yes, Uncle. Can I? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can I explain how I understand it, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong? Yeah. So say we're eating an orange. When we're eating the orange, all we can focus on is the taste of the orange and the color of the orange in our Gnani Pariyai. But I mean, just bear with me for a second. The problem is that our Atma can perceive the entire universe in that samay.
Yes.
The orange, ourselves, and everything else. But we're so used to thinking that what's in front of us, because of our Indriya Gnan, is the only thing that we can experience. So we think that our Gnani Pariyai is dependent on the object in front of us. But Kevali Bhagavan has shown that in that same samay that I'm eating the orange, he would be perceiving the entire universe. So there's no dependence of our Gnani Pariyai on the object in front of us. And I think something like that is happening. I don't know.
Yeah, you are trying to make a point also, because the important thing is my sphere of action. Where is it? Is it outside wall or within my this limitation only? My sphere of action is limited over here. I don't have any control outside this sphere, period. That's it. So this shape of this knowledge mode occurring, that is also occurring within me. That's occurring because it was supposed to occur at that time. And then outside material object was present simply as an instrumental cause. It was simply present instrumental cause. That's it. Dog. As we took the example of, we talked about a dog's example, dogs and a dog chewing the bone. Dog is chewing the bone, and the sharp edge of the bone goes on the palate, and the blood comes out, and dog is tasting the sweetness of the blood, his own blood. Dog is tasting sweetness of his own blood. Dog is tasting sweetness of his own blood. This is the sweetness of the blood. And this dog means a soul. It tasting his own blood. But what does he think? He thinks that, well, that taste is coming from the bone. He erroneously believes that my taste of sweetness comes from chewing this bone, and the bone is giving the sweetness, but actually his own blood is giving sweetness to him. So I had to concentrate on my sphere of action within me only. And because since time infinite, I have depended on alien objects for my knowledge. So I always think that because of the peacock, I got knowledge. Because of the influence of attachment, I end up knowing influence of attachment. Because of this phone being over here, I end up knowing the phone. That it is so ingrained within me that now Acharya Bhagavan says, no, you try to change the thought process.
Kirit uncle, can I ask you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the interruption.
No problem.
So now, if we actually were able to go within and be more self-aware,
Yeah.
then we would not need the instrumental cause from the outside to have the knowledge mode and be aware of the knowledge mode. Is that what you're saying?
You're almost there. Remember, whole slide that you see right now is exactly the same way. Nothing changes. Means I don't ignore this guy. I don't ignore object. I don't ignore instrumental cause. It's there, but my primary focus is within me. So I have to change my thought process. Everything else is same in the world. Universe is same. It has not changed. It has its own laws and regulations. It will keep on whatever happens. But I am my own universe. This is my universe, and that's where my sphere of action is there. And I know, I take notice of this object of knowledge, but I make it secondary. I make it secondary. Yes.
I don't know if this will be helpful. I don't even know if it answers Preeti's question.
Yeah.
But maybe if you explain this, it could help everybody. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I heard an analogy that I think Gurudev Gandhi Swami explained regarding salt and namak and namkeen in Samaysar Gatha 15.
Yes.
Can you please explain that? And maybe, I don't know if it will answer Preeti's question or if it'll shed some light onto this issue.
Well, that example is right now I'm eating vegetables. I'm eating the banana shak, for example. Okay, and I'm eating that one, and I told Vibhuti that this is very salty. I don't like it, or there is it has no taste at all. Remember, I'm eating the vegetable and I'm just saying there is no taste at all, or there is too much. It is too much salty. But I had to make the discrimination within me that the banana by itself is banana, and salt by itself is salt, and there is association of both the things, and I just say this is good or this is not good, this is salty, this is less salty. So I made them as one unit. Rather than that, I had to discriminate that if I feel salty, it's because of salt being present in this banana shak. That kind of attitude I have to create. But since time infinite, we are used to see that everything to be this, everything together, and because everything is together, so I just say that, okay, I end up knowing is because of all these things happening to me. I consider everything to be a one unit over here, but there's not one unit. This absolute separate thing is there, and so we have to keep analyzing that way and keep thinking that way, and that will help us out. So we always have to consider each and every moment. Now I'm looking at the computer screen. No, I'm looking at my own knowledge mode where the computer screen is reflected. Computer screen is over here, for example, and the reflection is over here. So it's not that because of computer, I know the computer screen. I know the image of the computer screen occurring within me. I know the image of this phone occurring within me. I know the image of this shirt occurring within me. I know the image of my glasses occurring within me. I don't know the body, but I know the image of the body occurring within me. So I'm the all-knower. I'm the knower. I'm the knower. Each time I see a substance, I'm the knower. Remember, one thing we can just say that, okay, I'm not Ankit. I'm not Preeti. I'm not Ketan. I'm not such and such. I'm not this guy. I'm not that guy. I just say negativity for all the universal substance. But then who am I? I don't know that part. How can it be possible that you don't know yourself and you know the whole world? It's a foolish statement. They also say that when I'm the all-knower, I don't know myself, I don't know this part at all, and I just consider that I know the whole universe. No, that's not right. I'm the all-knower to start with. I have to keep that kind of attitude within me. If it's not clear, let's not move further, because this is the important question. This is the heart of
Okay, so I understood some of it. Yeah. So let's talk about time infinite. Okay. So if the knowledge mode is time infinite and the soul is a higher level soul, will be aware of whatever is there in the knowledge mode in time infinite, then you don't need the instrumental cause to have the knowledge mode.
The instrumental cause is always present, though.
It is always. So what is time infinite then? No.
Time infinite, it's a mode, the mode occurring in each time. You are sitting on a bank, on a beach, and the waves keeps on coming and coming and coming and coming and coming forever. And so that's your mode coming forever. And that's since time infinite, those modes keeps on coming. Ocean is there, stationary, ocean as a whole, and the waves keeps on coming and coming and coming and coming forever and ever and ever and ever. Modes are coming and coming forever and ever and ever. Soul substance remains constant. Soul substance is not moving at all. Gold is a gold, whether it's in the form of a ring, or whether in the form of a chain, or whether in the form of a necklace, or whether in the form of a belt, or whether in the form of a watch or anything. Gold is a gold. All those things are called its modes. Pariyai.
Okay, so maybe I didn't say the question properly. Kevli Nan is aware of whatever is going to happen in every mode in the future.
Yes.
So somehow we all could be Kevli Nan, and we all could know what is happening to our own soul and other people's soul in the future.
Yes.
So if that is the case, that's where I don't see how instrumental cause comes in. If we are Kevli Nan and we already know what's going to happen in the future. Okay. See, that's some connection I'm missing somewhere.
Yeah. See, Kevli Bhagwan omniscient Lord, when he knows the whole universe, past, present, future, means who knows these things? Omniscient Lord knows it, right? But what does he know? He knows the universe. So universe becomes instrumental cause. But did he know because instrumental cause was present? No, he knew because of himself having all this capacity that he has within him. Let me just bring this one again quickly. So, see, the process of knowledge is occurring in these sections only. And this is my capacity. This is Kevali Bhagwan's capacity. So he knows. And at that time, these guys are present as instrumental cause. So what? It's okay. Instrumental cause is present always in a given act. Only thing, we just have to make them secondary in nature.
That's my soul perspective.
Yeah.
But Kevali somehow knows what is the instrumental cause 100 years in the future.
Yeah, he knows everything, but so what?
But
but
I want to know how that's connected to this, because then I'm missing something.
Okay, because what you're missing is this guy is present. We are not ignoring the presence of this guy. Remember, this water is present for fish to swim. Water presence is important as an instrumental cause, but capacity of the swimming is with the fish. If you just say fish was swimming because of water only, no. Fish was swimming because fish has a capacity to swim, and water becomes simply a vehicle.
Okay.
Same way over here. This guy is, sorry. This guy is simply a vehicle present. That's it. Vehicle, but knowledge occurred within me. Let's presume that, okay, I have this phone over here and I keep in front of the mirror, and mirror will show the image of this phone, but I keep the same phone on this wall over here. Wall will not show me reflection. So that illumination occurring is because of my own capacity. This illumination occurred because of my capacity, you know.
Okay.
Right.
So then, maybe let me try and rephrase.
Yeah.
When you say make it secondary, our soul substance should be a witness of the knowledge mode happening.
Yes.
And just be observant, and that's it.
Observant. And that's a word you're using is Gnata Drashta is the nature of myself. Gnata Drashta, all knower, all perceiver, but I simply know the things. I say, I don't do anything. I don't interfere. See, this image did not interfere anything over here. This guy is independent. This image is independent, and nobody interfered in anybody else's work. This is primary activity, and this is secondary as a present, as an instrumental cause. Simply that point. That's it. I'm the observer.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the distraction, everyone else.
Okay, I mean, you see, the knowing is very important, and that's okay. Don't worry about it, and that's why we have the class that we don't want to. I mean, we are not in a rush to finish certain things today and get it over with. No, the important thing is just to have proper understanding, and I'm glad. And later on, you give me a call, or we can just talk about one-on-one, and I try to clarify some of the doubts along, because you need to have this thing gets clarified in your mind perfectly. Okay. Okay. Or I think we are out of time. Oh my God, time already passed up. 1 hour already finished. Okay. So we'll try to make it next week and see what happens. Any other questions that you have it?
Actually, Kirit uncle, I have some questions from the Philadelphia Parivar. So after this is over, could we talk for 2-3 minutes?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything else remaining? Question, please. No? Okay. We'll do a closing. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalo sovani mastaka namo sada detu ho. 9 बार नमोकार मंत्र, 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. Jai Jinendra. Okay. We'll see you next time, okay?
Okay. So Kirit uncle?
1 second, hold it, let me. Yeah.